Welcome back to Clockwise Crypto, where we help you move forward towards financial freedom with crypto assets. Got some big things to cover today. Stay tuned. Diving right into it, we are going to look at Bitcoin, what's going on. We see here that Bitcoin is, in fact, respecting our level of support, pulling back here. It is bouncing off of this trend line exactly as we had it yesterday. Really, our position stays the same. We have it bearish. But there is some other news that we are going to go over, but just wanted to stop at Bitcoin real quick. So looking at this news, Japan orders crypto exchanges to comply with Russian sanctions. So Japan is urging crypto exchanges to obey these sanction orders. They've been growing concerns among world powers that Russia's entities and individuals may resort to crypto to avoid financial sanctions imposed over the Ukraine attacks. So like I said, this goes both ways when we talk about decentralization and us, as a people getting back our ownership. It can be used to avoid things as well. So the U.S. reiterates sanction compliance measures. Japan is the only country seeking to prevent the use of crypto to evade sanctions. It will be real interesting to see how the government prevents the use of crypto to evade, the sanctions. What are they going to do to kind of stop the use of crypto? That's something we really are going to want to pay attention to when we look at what's going to happen in this regard. So looking at Wozniak, Bitcoin price, he says who is still on track to $100,000. The co-founder, Steve Wozniak, is still a believer in Bitcoin, as we all are saying that Bitcoin is in fact going to reach 100,000. Wozniak made other positive comments about Bitcoin in the past, and just this last week noted about his skepticism of NFTs and many new cryptocurrencies. The Apple co-founder noted that many of the new projects were just rip-offs and scams. He then went on to say Bitcoin is the one only that's pure gold mathematics. And so we've seen that in the markets. I think it's important to pay attention to someone like Steve Wozniak, who has had a track record of success even after Apple, and with his investments, and what he looks at is pretty conservative, but when he goes for something, he goes pretty hard, right? So Wozniak is saying Bitcoin to 100K, and I think it holds true to think that a lot of these new companies are just cash grabs. They're not going to be around, and that's why at least here we try to keep in front of you projects that are going to be around for the long term and that have a proven track record of success. Nothing's guaranteed, of course, but reason why we talk a lot about Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, you hear us talk about Ripple. Those have been around 4 years or more. Bitcoin's over 10, Ethereum's going on 4, Cardano's going on 4, and I think actually Ethereum should be about 5 and Cardano 4. And really just what we see when we look at our portfolio is we want to, now we're in accumulation stage. We look at what's happening with Bitcoin right now. It's dropping, but now is the time to accumulate when you see the value, right? So that's just something to look at. You look at people like Steve, and we see that it's pretty conservative, not going to go all the way around, but this guy knows tech, and he's been a part of building one of the biggest tech companies in the world's ever seen. So it's just something to pay attention to. Looking at this next bit of news, we look at Cardano. Ardana announces partnership with Cardano DeFi leader Optim Finance. So Optim and Ardana announced a partnership March 9th. Cardano services will enhance Optim Finance revenue streams. And so really, how does this impact the Cardano network? So Optim vaults will be able to leverage the Ardana ecosystem with optimal capital allocation through low friction, native and stable asset trading on the Cardano network. This is big. It's happening. So we talk about Cardano. We talk about, one of the complaints with Cardano is slow to market. But like I said, it's happening. They're taking the strides. People are starting to build on top of the platform. And the reason why you're going to Cardano and not other platforms is because they see the scalability and they see the transactions per second with the rollouts of these last phases. And we talked about the last phases of Cardano are scalability and governance, are the last two phases. We look at Hydra and what they're rolling out. So Cardano's making big news and big moves. So this is something we're going to keep taking a look at. Next piece of news, tax expert says buying crypto is not a taxable event. Purchasing crypto with fiat or any unrealized appreciation is not a taxable event, according to Thomas Shi, a crypto tax executive. While many refer to crypto as a Wild Wild West, some believe that this may only continue for a little longer. A crypto tax leader, Tom Shi, told Cointelegraph that taxation for crypto is an evolving era and new regulations may be implemented soon. There is new legislation that will require reporting for at least some crypto transactions, and when those rules go into effect, there will be significant changes. So the executive noted that increasing popularity of crypto, lawmakers are continuously exploring how to generate revenue by taxing and regulating digital assets. So looking down here and what we see, what he's saying is, while may not appreciate their crypto assets of being taxed, understanding that changing tax impacts associated with crypto is crucial, according to Shi. So tax expert noted that the market participants need to be aware of the scope of the transactions that potentially trigger a taxable event and associated with the reporting requirements. So whether one buys or sells crypto influences whether it's taxable or not. Purchasing crypto with fiat or any unrealized appreciation event is not a taxable event. So we'll see what he's saying and what he's breaking down. So the same thing applies to NFTs is what he's saying. If you purchase an NFT with fiat, it's no taxable event. However, purchasing NFTs with crypto is treated very similarly to a crypto for crypto exchange. The gross proceeds less your tax basis in the asset, generally including any associated fee or costs. So let's break that down again. The gross proceeds minus your tax basis in the asset, generally including any associated fee or costs, is what he's breaking down. So apparently he's gonna be one of the people that are looking at the crypto tax regulations, or really how can we legally pay as little taxes as possible. Looking back in February, the Indian government proposed a 30% income tax on crypto revenue. However, many opposed the proposal, as 30% crypto tax is almost double the corporate tax rate, which currently hovers at 16%. So as we look at adoption, as we move forward in the crypto market as a whole, and adoption takes place, we are going to expect more and more tax regulations, and more and more of the industry and the government entities looking at a way to charge us, and we should legally pay as little as possible. So going to this next one, Elon Musk says he might not sell his Bitcoin or Ethereum or Doge. Says he will not might not. He will not sell his Bitcoin, Ethereum, Doge. Wow. The crypto space is going crazy. He took this on Twitter. He said, as a general principle, looking for advice from this thread, it's generally better to own physical things like a home or stock in companies you think make good products than $0 when inflation is high. So you want to have, he's saying you'd rather have your money in a home or stock companies than just having cash. He said, I still own and won't sell my Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Doge. Super cool. And then Michael Saylor responded to that. We asked about what are our thoughts on inflation rate over the next few years. Michael Saylor hits and says, USD consumer inflation will continue to near all-time highs, and asset inflation will run double the rate of consumer inflation. Weaker currencies will collapse, and the fight of capital from cash, debt, and value stocks to scarce property like Bitcoin will intensify. So, as the U.S. and I would say as countries more so the U.S. Deal with inflation and just print money, that shows the use case for crypto. That shows the use case for Bitcoin. You can't just print more. And when we look at the other day on how the U.S. is looking at the digital dollar, that's going to be a problem. Is it going to be worth anything? Because the government as a whole is used to just being able to print. When you have a situation like this, in order to be able to compete in the digital world, you're not just going to be able to print. You're going to have to let it be the way it is. And if in worst case scenario, if any adjustments are made, you're not adding to it, you're burning it, which increases the value. So this is going to be interesting. It's an interesting time in crypto. We're going to see what happens as we continue to dive into this market and through these market conditions. And I hope you guys will take a look at these articles. A lot going on, a lot of big heavy hitters talking about crypto assets, which is very cool. And it's cool to see, as you know, as someone who's been in for the past 4 years. We are going on 5 years. We are seeing something that I never even thought we'd see, like Elon Musk and Steve Wozniak. You know, when I got in, everybody was calling crypto a scam, right? And so to see this now, it's huge. I'm super excited, and we'll see what goes. We'll cover the news tomorrow, and we'll see you next time.